Or bigger than a hell raid, things like you heard on the decks. Glover hold the court and give it to no suspect. Politics in the mix, like double Stuart Rich. Spinning tales from Black Wall Street, real life's the pitch. Doni Glover Show, be more news. 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 Business tips hotter than lava. Got that Midas touch. Stocks and blocks teaching youngins how to clutch. Ears to the concrete, finger on the pulse. Dropping wisdom like Hover, each word a joke. Doni Glover Show, be more news. 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 Walls painted black, history on lock. Blast off from Tulsa, rebirth like a clock. Markets rising from ashes to gains. Doni the narrator, truth runs in veins. Doni Glover Show, be more news. 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 Business tips hotter than lava. Got that Midas touch. Stocks and blocks teaching youngins how to clutch. Ears to the concrete, finger on the pulse. Dropping wisdom like Hover, each word a joke. Doni Glover Show, be more news. 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 Walls painted black, history on lock. Blast off from Tulsa, rebirth like a clock. Markets rising from ashes to gains. Doni the narrator, truth runs in veins. Doni Glover Show, be more news. 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 Be news.
Good evening, everyone. First name's Doni, last name's Glover, entered the winning for the long haul baby. All right, welcome back to the Indigenous Series. We've been doing this for the past 3 months. Tonight we're running with the theme, Grandma Said We're Indian. You've heard it before, sitting around a dinner table, or maybe even during a family reunion. And somebody said, Grandma told us we were Indian. Have you ever heard that before? There was a Harvard professor who said that 2 to 3% of Black people in America have indigenous roots. I didn't believe it then. I don't believe it now. Tell you something else too. Every now and then I like to acknowledge how this series kicked off. We did a video about 10 years ago on Black Indians and got all kinds of feedback. And I think some of the most hurtful comments that I received were from Black people. And we've seen it even on this show in the comments. Somebody said something about self-hate. Go sit down somewhere. This ain't no damn self-hate. If you haven't looked up your family tree and found out where you're from, don't look at me cock-eyed. Don't get mad at me because nobody told you. Somebody should have told you you had Indian in your family. But I want to acknowledge Mike Lane. We did a show with him which resurrected the interest in Black Indians, indigenous, autochthonous, Paleo-Americans, or whatever your term du jour is, because I really get blown away of how we get so offended. You can't call me this, you can't call me that, don't say this, don't say that. Some of us are a little too damn sensitive. But be that as it may, we try to create a safe environment where everybody's welcome at the kitchen table. And going back to Mike Lane, because I remember the 3 interviews like yesterday. Some of the information was shocking. Like, I'd never really looked at the number of pyramids in America versus the ones in Africa. Great information. Never really heard a story about Abraham Lincoln pushing emigration, E-M-I-G-R-A-T-I-O-N, not immigration, but emigration, us leaving a particular country, like when we went to Sierra Leone, like when we went to Liberia, or at least the British expatriates who left Nova Scotia. But in all of that, the problem wasn't a challenge. It was a problem that particular night that I had with Mike Lane was the disrespect. I don't care who you are, what you know, where you come from. All I ask is that you come with respect. But when you get out the gate, then, oh, well, you know how that's going to work out. But nonetheless, we have with us my brothers. My
peace.
How you doing?
All is well. How you feeling, Mr. Donnie?
Outstanding, sir.
Yes, sir.
Chicago in the house. Chi-Town.
Peace, peace.
Peace to the God.
Peace, brother. Peace. How y'all doing?
Got that other gladiator down there, Horace.
Yeah, peace, God.
Peace,
What's up,
peace. Animal, I can't call him, man. Just glad to be here. Glad to
be in the land of the living one more time. Had to take a little pause, man. School ain't a joke. You got to put time in, just like anything else. And I needed to take a pause.
That's right.
What was that? Friday?
Yeah, I think it was Sunday. It was Thursday.
Yeah. I thank you for the pause. And Planet Well said take the break, so I took it. Rest is important. Right. How you been, Horace? What's been up with you?
Oh, nothing, man. Just doing what I do best, man. You know, I sent some pictures, man, that up in West Virginia, man. Man, they got step pyramids up through there, man. That's clustered together, man, like hundreds of them, man. They undeniable. But y'all seen the ones I sent in the group chat. You know, I had to get out and take them, but I couldn't stop and just take pictures every time I saw them because they were coming back to back. Yeah.
So look, I'm gonna pass the ball to Mafia, but before I do that, I just wanted to say that in our discussions, some people say, and you addressed it earlier, we should bring top cats on the show. And you made a poignant observation. We got Hannibal. Or if we're talking about pyramids, we got Horace. Or if we're talking about the next generation, we got Mafia. Or if we're talking about the elders, we got the planet. Is there any show out there that's got 3 generations of Black men having a civil conversation?
Nah, not that I can say that I follow, and I follow a lot of shows. I watch all the guys, you know, from, you know, all around the country to even overseas, people that's doing shows, you know, and I feel that's what makes us unique is the generations and the different perspectives that we all bring to the table.
So y'all all agree that we're not going to chase nobody. We are going by attraction versus chasing. Welcome, Planet Wells.
Peace and blessings.
Well, peace, bro.
Hey, now.
Peace, Planet
All
Wells.
right.
All right, we'll go ahead and run your point, Mafia.
Absolutely. As to what Donnie say, you know, we don't chase the stars, we make them. You know, and as we know, we are the stars. We just rediscovering who we are through our genealogy, through reconnecting with the peace and the silence, and the pyramids. Yeah. So what's going on, Planet? How you feeling?
Oh, well, I would have to categorize today as a challenging day.
Whoa.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
I've got some deep family issues, and we're having a storm here, so the internet has been blinking on and off, but we in it, you know, we in it.
Absolutely. In
Yeah,
Baltimore, we got
absolutely.
Uncle T. He say, if it don't challenge you, it won't change you.
There you go. There you go.
That's
Absolutely.
right. That's right.
Okay.
We're glad to be here with my brothers.
Yes, sir.
Well, we're glad to be here too, and glad to have you as well, man. I
Yeah,
think
peace.
it's
Peace,
it,
fam.
anybody been paying attention, man, to this government shutdown. We in day 40, day 41, and I've been hearing a lot of stuff, man. I think they had over 1,400 delays at the airports.
Mm-hmm.
That's a
Yeah.
lot, man. But see, I don't think people either they don't know or they don't see the seriousness in Chief Redbird serving, an eviction notice to the United States Incorporation at 1400 Pennsylvania Avenue. I think it was late December or early January, and they final eviction date was January the 31st, or unpaid rent, because we know that they weren't supposed to be here that alone. So I don't think that people really understand the severity of that, but can't do nothing but sit back and watch the show.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's the importance of, like you say, not just watching the politics, but watching the history that we are uncovering, because we tying it to the pyramids and what happened in these areas. We tying it to the treaties. You know what I'm saying? We tying it to the spirituality of everything that's happening in real time. Like you said, we watching the show, but we are a part of what's next to come. So us playing our part and stepping up to the plate also plays a part.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Another thing I was thinking, like you were saying, we working this thing out in real time, is that we got to come up with solutions that affects us now and that can benefit us now in real time. You get what I mean? Like food solutions, like you said, the government's shutting down. I've been hearing a lot of people panicking over the food stamps and things like that. So we got to figure ways that we can become self-sufficient on things. That's what that's why I'm preaching like self-determination, being in control of your own destiny. That means like controlling your food, controlling your education, controlling them things that's going to be vital for you and yours to come. You get what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So
Very true.
That's powerful. That's where we come to, not even without what we call reclaiming the land or anything. We can reclaim how we feed ourselves, like you say, with our food supply, with indoor growing and that type of agriculture.
I think that should be the first thing that we should do. That's like reclamation over the simple things. Because if we talk about self-determination, we talk about governing. So that's a big overtaking. So that means that we gotta take the small things, because every complex situation is a group of small things. So that means that we gotta substantiate and conquer the small things like food, education, violence in the neighborhoods. I seen that video that we passed along in the group today about the CIA, the rap music and things like that. So confronting things that we don't normally speak about, because now is the time, because these things is detrimental to those to come. I got grandkids now. When I was a young person, I remember when what's her name out in California, Dolores Tucker was like, oh, that gangster music is gonna be bad. And I didn't realize then, but I realize now because I got grandchildren. So I realized the effect of certain behaviors. So, it's like we okay with a lot of things, and we got to stop being okay with a lot of things. You get what I mean? In order to right this ship, we got to right this ship. So we got to stop being okay with a lot of things. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and I mean, to piggyback off you, I think that I had to explain to my daughter is that the music that we hear, you have others that are being entertained by the music. So they get to play it and they, that they don't look like us, but they entertained by the music. Whereas that this music becomes our reality.
Right.
And it's a harsh reality over a nice beat, with a good hook to it. So we're living this while they just dancing to it, and it's not a good thing. But and just to piggyback off of something that was said earlier, well, I think that a good starting point for the people is message to the black man,
Mm-hmm.
and the layout that Dr. Claude Anderson had brought forth, because remember he's the one who he created affirmative action,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
that they switched it and turned it into DEI. And he himself said that he only created that for us, but everybody else benefited from it. But if a person would study that the message to the black man, as well as that which Dr. Claude Anderson put forth for how us to, build things vertically, you know what I mean, and for us to benefit from it, I think that we would be way better off, because it's eventually going to come down to that in this day and time, but people just don't realize it yet.
Yeah, like I say, I agree with that. I think we realize it in certain aspects. We just not connecting the dots, like how we connecting everything that we connecting on the show. If we look back at when it was jab season in 2020, it born a lot of entrepreneurs. You know what I'm saying? It made a lot of people step into different career fields, or make different choices that they probably wouldn't have made before. So if we still understand that we operating in that same frequency, even though we're not under the same pressure, it's still that same the thought process of us coming together, us being a collective, us building a community, building the economics, our different forms of education, different levels of understanding and putting things into motion.
Well, one of the things, growing up in New York and being right outside the Bronx, and the rap phenomenon kind of broke. And at first, what I recall is it was a kind of information network.
Mm-hmm.
And, there was so much of a tremendous beauty in the actual creation of the art form, because one was making something out of nothing that was pure genius. And the problem is others took advantage of it. They saw what it was, and they took advantage of it, and they said, well, this can make us money too, right? And they promoted an aspect of it, which was the lower form of it,
Right.
right? And they made it a theme of the streets, a theme of the prisons, a
Mm-hmm.
theme of the negative. Remember I was in Peru, and I had come back. I had come back to New York, and I went into a bookstore that I really liked, which was Rizzoli's. And on the radio, they were cursing and talking bitch this and I was looking at the people in the store. I had just come back from, being in Peru, and I looked at the people in the store. They didn't, they didn't mind. They didn't mind. But the beauty of us looking out for each other seemed to have been lost, and so it was painful for me uh, to experience that switch. I didn't know all of the politics of how that switch happened, but I did see that. I do distinctly remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like today, I was
driving to pick my daughter up, take her to work, and I heard this radio commercial. This baffled me because it said, "Get music for life with JPay." And I know JPay is what they use to pay people in jail. So I'm like, wait a minute,
Wait, hold it.
wait a minute, you selling music for life for someone in jail. Am I the only one getting this? Am I seeing like, well, I just can't put my mind around it. It's like we're totally gone. And in order, like I said, in order for us to right this ship, there's certain things that we got to confront. We got to confront it hard. I mean, hard. You get what I mean?
Right.
Horace made a point like the message to the black man. I got schooled on that back like in '97. And the other compliment was that it's like the other book Elijah Muhammad, the prophet, wrote. It was like How to Eat to Live. It was them two books together. You get what I mean? So then Dr. Claude Anderson. And, you know, it was like we got to get back to, because we had our own mechanism going on. Our own teachers was teaching us, you get what I mean, from the inside. You know, now it's like that. Now it's like we've been infiltrated. Now our teachers want to make a lot of money from those outside. They want to be a part of this chaos that's going on. And it's not conducive to what we're trying to do. So, you know, if people can just gleam in on our conversations on the outside and what we accomplish off camera, they'll see that we're trying to build this mechanism that we're actually talking about now. You know what I'm saying? And I think this is a good conversation that we're having, confronting rap, getting back to our knowledge base, confronting eating, securing food, you know, because a lot of the places we live in is quote unquote food desert. Why? You know what I'm saying? We got people that got jobs. Why is it food desert? We can move in things, you know what I'm saying? Me and Mafia was talking about, and my family was talking about like community cafeterias, why, or community kitchens in people's homes where we can work together. You know what I'm saying? It can be a sponsored plate or whatever. It's, you know what I'm saying? You know how we do it. We just got to do it. You know, put this together, you know? And that's what builds the nation. And, you know, we can come back and talk and gather our indigenous heritage, but what we do collectively now, you know what I'm saying? Right. That's the main thing. I think that's what we're getting across to the people, what we're doing now, you know.
Correct. And it's you know, it's no diss to the current you know, youthful manifestation of the music.
Right.
You know, that's a genius. Anyone with any clear eye can see the beauty and the genius of that particular investigation into furthering music and all of that. Right. But it's the moral theme behind the music has to be elevated back to our
ain't no love music, man.
Our natural elegance. You know?
Ain't no love music, Planet.
Yeah.
Where the love music at? Y'all heard of October London?
Yeah, I like October London.
They sound like Marvin Gaye.
Yeah. We need some That's October music. London in this joint.
Right.
Well, we got her, HER. You know, also aside from says that, you know, aside from just the music or the lyrics or whatever, there are also no more natural instruments. Every instrument comes by way of pressing a button.
Mm-hmm. And you know, one of the big sacrifices was that I noticed when I came back was that you know, I went to Tower Records in New York. That used to be my hang, and I went up in there, and the whole thing has switched. You know, like the jazz section was minimal,
right,
and the hip hop section was everything.
Right.
You know, and then you know there was the conservative section where they had the classical, right? And I noticed that. You know, you know, one of the things that influenced the love music and this, that, and the other was the beauty of the jazz, the beauty of the blues. It encompassed the whole thing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You can literally hear it in the sound. So music is very important. Music is
It's everything.
Yeah.
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 it's
I think
life's soundtrack.
I think the youth shouldn't get misconstrued of what we're saying. We're not talking about you. We're talking about those that's over you that's putting this music out.
Right.
You know, we're like today the video about the CIA and certain record executives and certain record artists that got together at a certain person's house to push this rhetoric to get people to get themselves in prison. So that's why we got a lot of this type of theme music going on. It started with skulls, it started with murder. Now it's young YNs and our people play on with it. You know, there's no way in the world that we should be calling our kids YNs. No way.
Right. Right.
I
And, yeah, and
disagree
like,
with that totally.
and see, like I said,
Well,
one of the
remember.
main,
Oh, I'm sorry.
one of the main things also is that all of the leaders that we revere would be considered YNs because they the same age as the guys who we call the YNs today.
Well,
No,
I'm just saying, look at the conundrum, right? Look
Yeah.
at somebody else call you a young nigga.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Let one of these other people call you a young nigga. It's a problem. But you can call yourself.
Yeah, that's
So don't put it in the public realm
absolutely.
and give somebody permission to use it against you. That's why we don't use the N-word on this show, and we try not to cuss.
I guess the passion is coming out that we are all right with things that we shouldn't be all right with. We give people the middle ground to be okay with certain things with us. That's what I'm saying.
Well, not. Let's start at home. Let's start at home. Like Planet, you look like you were young enough that if you said something slick out your mouth to your mother or your father, there were some physical repercussions.
It was known as the backhand lick.
And Lord, don't let that be the ring finger. Don't be sitting on the left
Because it happened like lightning.
because you get that ring and it would touch the tooth
Okay.
as you picking yourself up off the floor. But if you do that today, Horace, the kid can go 911.
But there's a powerful thing that was also there, independent of the backhand lick concept, was the look.
Yeah.
The
First
look,
you get the look.
alone to make you straight.
First you get the look.
Come on.
No, that's
I caught that backhand. It was a Saturday. I was running my mouth. I'll never forget it. I was eating. My father was eating, and my mother said something from back here, and I said something slick.
Right.
Whopper.
Yeah. I had grace because I had an older brother, right? And I saw him at the dinner table once, actually his breakfast table once, get a backhand lick, and that was enough for me. Okay, that was when my father jumped back and was, dang, you know, it was my mother who did it.
But see, this is what I'm getting to, Planet. We allowed people, no disrespect, people who don't discipline their own children to make policy about how we raise our own. People,
right.
Now, last I checked, there were black women putting black breasts in white babies' mouths down south.
The dog, no, that's right.
right.
Breastfeeding your babies, teaching your babies manners. But now you want to tell us how to raise our babies. Don't hit little people. A lady said that to me once. And I really didn't care what she, I mean, I've known her for a long time, but we touch little people.
Yeah.
I saw it the other day, Friday, a little girl. She's about 2 years old, went to touch the stove. The adult said no. Baby went, adult, smacked that hand.
Well,
Was the adult supposed to let the child touch the stove?
Not at all. I think it's like you said, Donnie, it's the sensitivity. I think we have overly sensitivity to emotions and feelings, and those things are temporary. So
one of the things that happened, relatively recently was the COVID pandemic, right? And the COVID pandemic stopped, and there were certain rules, and there was all this going on, and it was like, oh my God, the pandemic. Well, what about the crack pandemic? What about that?
Yeah, when Nancy Reagan said, "Just say no."
Yeah,
that was a gimmick.
That was a massive thing.
Because I've said to the non-black addicts in my neighborhood, can I have $1? Just say no.
Mm-hmm.
Just say no, right, Mafia? Just say no.
Absolutely.
We have non-black addicts panhandling in the black community, in the poorest of black communities.
Yeah.
But you got Trump running around on TV talking the foolishness that he is talking. And it's dividing people. But the sister got a comment here. And to me, Mafia, I think you should address this. She says she's seeing a lot of young kings out here, and there's a division.
The division is being pushed through the different narratives because we all stand on different perspectives of this one narrative. So it is people standing on one side against each other, but coming to a common ground and having a common understanding is what we're pushing on the platform to be able to see.
I agree with that comment there. I think it's all of us, not a young person thing. It's a collective of us being a tribe, and we getting back to being who we are. It's a collective thing because we all fail at once, so we all gonna have to be lifted up together. So it's all our responsibility. So I do agree that most people in their 40s is not it's not looking towards being an elder, or maybe that's a middle-age crisis or something, or whatever it is. But it's time to get over it. You know what I mean?
I don't know if it's most, because I haven't surveyed. I try to be careful about those generalizations, but we do know, as we all do, and that's the beauty. We know about the division, and that's the beauty of having Mafia and Planet. Horace and Hannibal, we all about the same age, but these two cats, y'all are the bookends. You get it, Planet?
I got it.
And I mean, usually you come with the final word in this group because ain't none of us bucked on you.
Right.
No, man, that's powerful though. It's powerful to be able to share the perspectives, because not only just on the perspective of how we see each other. If you always see an elder as trying to teach you something, then you won't learn something. You know what I'm saying? If you see a youngin' as don't want to learn nothing, you ain't gonna be able to find a way to give them the lesson. So we have to look at each other as individuals, but still find how to operate as together.
Well, I saw the whole thing dismantled piece by piece with the way Chicago gangs were structured. From the Disciples to the Vice Lords to the Stones to the Cobras, even to the Latin Kings, and any other Spanish organization, whether they be Satan Disciples, etc. And it was a network, and it was a chain of command. When we were shorties, man, the older cats, they see us playing hooky, and like, look, man, y'all go to school, but we catch y'all out here tomorrow playing hooky, we gonna duke y'all up. Or it's a gang, a crowd of guys coming, here come an older lady, somebody gonna help her with her bags.
Right.
Somebody gonna open the door for her. It wasn't no disrespecting, the elders, as well as I think that, a lot of times the Bible verse that says, children, obey your mothers and fathers that your days might be long upon the earth, but also within that same verse, it says that do not provoke your child to wrath. So now the respect is earned as well as it more so than it is it being entitlement. Because just because you're an old man or old woman doesn't mean that you're going to automatically be respected because of your age. It's the way that you carry yourself and the energy
There you go.
that you produce outwardly to will say, well, hey, a person say, hey, man, I got to respect them because they deserve that type of respect. So I think that the disconnect came when they started killing all of the elders and the chiefs. And then, like Elder was saying, man, that drug epidemic, man, that was critical, man. Because I watched people who were basically working class people overnight turn into zombies.
Correct.
And they literally have been gone for 3-4 decades now. Now, when you see them, man, they're completely reconstructed some type of creature that's been on these demonized drugs, because we got to realize, man, that these people still were alchemists that we were dealing with. And I had always said that, man, because even when we was hustling, man, you can have a rock as small as a fingernail, and man, you be paranoid as hell, and it's in your pocket, man. You're trying to find somewhere to hide this little bitty thing because of the energy that came along with it, but also they put money into these police fraternities to come into the poor neighborhoods and harass you and be ready to kill you because you've been povertized and you're trying to find a way up out of poverty. So there's a lot of intricate layers to this thing, man. And I'm just thankful that I made it through that particular era, man. I'm not on drugs. I'm not an alcoholic. I'm not a heroin addict. Even though I know a lot of people who are, even not, man, within the last 5 years, I probably know about 20 people that's done OD'd off of heroin. One of my cousins and 3 of my close friends, maybe 4 of them, And so when I see what took place and then I see where we are to now, I try not to get emotionally, involved in the negativity of it because the love for my people make me say, man, this devil sitting back and got us like this.
Yeah. I think I was about 8 years old and my uncle OD'd on heroin in my grandmother's house. So it's kind of hit this story kind of deep because we heard from my grandmother, we Indian. So that's ironic that we talking about all these things, you know what I'm saying? So it's good for us to get this out here. And it's good for our viewers to talk to their family members about what we're talking about. You get what I mean?
Well, let's put some information out there. Right now in Baltimore, they not slinging heroin. They're not even slinging fentanyl. They're slinging nitazene.
Never heard of it.
Nitazene. It's a synthetic. It is not heroin. It is not dope. It is not even fentanyl. It's now nitazene. And one hit of Narcan does not bring you back. It takes multiple doses of Narcan to bring you back off of nitazene. And while you were talking, that it was mentioned earlier, and we've never really touched it on this topic, but I'm glad you came forward, Horace. Liquor worse than the dope and the coke. Available 20 hours a day, socially acceptable, sold everywhere, and we never touched it on the show. What gets my attention is it was called fire water. Come on, Planet. You heard of fire water?
Absolutely.
Like
one of the things that we've touched on before is the image. And I remember back in the day, the big, because, we weren't in movies. Yeah. So when we did get in movies, the one movie that had an extreme impact was Superfly. And Superfly put in the economic element in the business of selling drugs. right? So now it was becoming a lifestyle that, a career move to be a dope dealer, right? So we have to look at the power of image and the power of movies, and that's one of the things about the AI phenomenon that is lowering the cost of making a movie. So now we can have more control over the images that we put out there for younger people to see and hopefully be affected by.
Right.
Yeah.
Another thing, like people got to realize, as a people, we know better than the worst of us. That means the worst of us is us. So if someone is in a downtrodden position, that's us collectively. So a lot
Correct.
of us might turn our nose up at that person, but everybody else look at that person and don't see no one different than us. So
Well,
it just
the book that we've been reading on Sunday for the past 400 years says that all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God, and all means all. Like there's no one out here who has not made a mistake. It
Right.
also say that a big mistake and a little mistake, a sin is a sin. And I'm not the holy roller, but I do find a lot of strength in that book.
But that's just a base of judgment and casting judgment upon others, you know.
Okay, we got some stuff up on the screen. Let's go to what you got up here, Horace. You going back to 1924, huh?
Who, me?
Hannibal.
Oh, this is Hannibal. Okay.
Oh, this is 1740, the Negro Act.
Oh, 1740. My bad.
Yeah, back in South. So, we've been talking about how Walter Plecker did the Racial Integrity Act, right? So back in 1740 in South Carolina, they made the Negro Act where they classified Africans, Indians that was at amity with the government. They classify everybody as Negroes, 1740. And every southern states followed suit. So you will see that this was a consistent thing, even in the antebellum time, the colonial times, and to these modern times that we live in. So that's what I was sharing with Doni. Then there's also a link where you can find the actual book. You know what I'm saying? Then you can actually read it. And I'll share some clips on my webpage about the.
Well, let's go through some of these items you've put up here. I just want to read 5 of the headings. So the 1740 Negro Act enacted in South Carolina codified the status of enslaved Africans and indigenous peoples, establishing severe restrictions on their rights and freedoms. It mentions that this happened in response to the Stono Rebellion of 1739, where enslaved Africans revolted against their enslavers. This act aimed to tighten control over the enslaved population and prevent future uprisings. So the 4 topics under that include status of enslaved individuals, restrictions on freedoms. It prohibited enslaved individuals from growing their own food.
Right.
Learning to read or write.
Right.
Moving freely. Assembling in groups or earning money. I'm going to say that again. The Negro Act of 1740, and this is 2025. Key provisions. Number 2, it prohibited enslaved individuals from growing their own food, learning to read or write, moving freely, assembling in groups, or earning money. That's all Black Wall Street. That's all self-sufficiency. That's all doing for self.
Right.
We were banned from doing for self. So when we finally get a Black Wall Street and the son of a Seabiscuit burns it down, damn, that just makes me mad.
Yeah, and then fast forward to 2025, you have a few people that look like us that's making a couple of dollars, and they have the audacity to say that we are the generators of our own destiny in those aspects, as if nobody had a hand in any of our demise whatsoever.
Right. The
Yes, sir.
17. You gotta read between these lines. So I'm knowing 1740, Georgia was just probably about 6 years old. That's when Oglethorpe come in there. The British probably was in the South Carolina no longer than about 70 years, because they came into South Carolina, took it from the Spanish or whatever, 1670, 1680, around that time, bringing Zulus over here, right? So that when they say they was this the Negro Act for Africans, they talking about indigenous Negro and natives here. This is what they talking about.
Right.
They assumed we were all from. Oh no, they weren't. They didn't assume. They declassified us.
But you see, they had one part where they said indigenous in amity with the government. So you had indigenous people that was in cahoots, meaning they was doing business with the government. You know what I'm saying? They was trading. You know what I'm saying? Oh, we got pomegranates down here, down south. You got cotton over here. Let's trade a little something. This is what they was doing. People think that it was just like they just met, and it was no industries and no businesses here. It was businesses here.
Right.
And these people already, when they came to board, they start interacting and start trading. You know what I mean? We just looking at them as being primitive because we think we more modern. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah, we're not accounting for them being living participants of the society.
Right.
Not just traders. They wasn't traders just like coming to the land just to trade. They lived amongst us. They had kids amongst us. It was that type of establishment.
Yeah, I'm saying like it's even deeper than that, cousin. It's like we over here had businesses already. So when the natives was over here trading amongst themselves without any European ever stepping foot over here, it was businesses already set them up. You know what I'm saying? Whether it was a mine, you get what I mean?
Trade routes, the Mississippi trade routes, We talking about the Ohio, the river.
How they was doing from up in Ohio, trading things like, you get what I mean? How we discussing how them Shawnee was moving and how everybody is being pushed down and bringing these new customs down and all these things amalgamate to be us. You get what I mean? So I think it's like what we're doing and like what we keep doing in our discussion is teaching our folks. We're teaching our folks about the Spanish, and we're teaching our folks about pre-European contact with the mound builders. And we teaching them pre-contact on how we lived here. You get what I mean? So a lot of these things is an uncovering, is like a healing when we start uncovering these things and really know why these things was being built. You get what I mean?
Correct.
Yeah, and if y'all don't mind, I want to touch upon a comment that was made by somebody in the comment about 6 comments back, and what they said was that nothing was placed there; it was a choice. And I think that that's the person who said that. So not purposely placed; it's a choice of the environment. So now, obviously, this person doesn't know anything about Black Wall Street or Durham, North Carolina, or Rosewood, or up here where Lake Lanier is at in Gwinnett County. So when you have these communities that's thriving, and you can burn everything down and take everything, and then you put them into poverty. So now you place a product into their environment that, hey, they can sell and make a couple of dollars to, them stay. Like KRS-One said, I do it once, I do it twice. Not a steak with the beans and rice. At first it was just beans and rice. So but then you criminalize it. But you can go right to the corners, pharmacy, Walgreens, Walmart, and get drugs worse than the ones that they criminalized down into an environment that was povertized. So when I hear people say that nothing was placed there, and it was a choice that we should have been stronger Well, you know, maybe you haven't had your ribs, you know, and your stomach touching, and you saw an opportunity to make something to put on the dinner plate, but you had to walk on thin ice because it was considered a crime for you to, take these means to survive. So that statement was totally incorrect. No, people put those things there to kill two birds with one stone, because if you read the government publications of the budget of America,
Mm-hmm.
which is about 20 volumes, it'll tell you when Ronald Reagan got in office, the United States economy, man, was nosediving at a rapid rate. And they set a margin for 1 year for the economy to, go, to at least reach that margin. When they put the drugs down in the black communities and the other poor communities, man, that number skyrocketed way past that margin. So they used us as guinea pigs to create crack babies, to fund prison pipelines. You know what I mean? To disenfranchise, because remember, we couldn't get anything except for a church in the black community, but all these other races of people were coming in and they were setting up convenience stores, gas stations, restaurants. And the only thing that we had was a church, and that's build them not building generational wealth as tribal, but one family. So yeah, when making statements like that, we gonna bump heads with that one, because we have been ostracized in more ways than you can possibly imagine.
Especially since I just was binge watching TV, and next thing I know, the mafia come on. Yeah, I'm talking about your name, mafia, them people you get your name from. Have you ever seen the Godfather Mafia?
Absolutely. I study gangsterism and the mafiosos.
And you know what they said about the heroin. You know who they said to give it to.
Absolutely.
He said, give it to your people.
Absolutely.
So I wouldn't personally want to be associated with them in any way.
No, but see, everything mafia it means family. So the origin of where they got their structure from came from us. You see what I'm saying? The Italians, Sicilians, all the mafiosos came from the great warriors of history like Hannibal. You know what I'm saying? So all that culture was recycled, and they put those immigrants on a pedestal over the natives, and that's what we uncovering today.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Very true.
Oh, look at Brenda coming all positive, Horace. Look at that. Look at that, Horace.
Yeah, check that out.
The show renews our sense of pride and dignity and affirms we were competent and sufficient long before European contact. Throw out the narrative that they contributed. No, they destroyed our civilization. Hey, man, tell me about this beautiful pyramid here. Is this one we've seen before or a new one?
No, that's a new one. That's
my goodness, man. That's good. Man, what is this?
Yeah, that's Norton. That's Norton, Virginia.
Man, I was trying to explain this to my brother yesterday. He's 75 years young, and he was looking at me cockeyed, man. And I guess maybe he was like me when Mike Lane was dumping some things on me that I didn't know. And again, I love Mike Lane's information. It's just that he cracks slick.
Yes, I never saw that portion, but I had been checking him out, previously, over the years, but this is most definitely colossal.
Yes, colossal.
Yeah, that's the word.
Man, that thing looked like what? 1, 2, 3. That's like 10 square blocks.
Yeah, well, in diameter, it's at least a half a mile, or
that joint is huge.
Now, is that perceived as a national monument or a
no, they hide
it. It's in a restricted location. See those trees?
Yeah, they hide
surrounding it. What me and the sister Nafisa have termed as blockers.
Because it seems
So
as though there's an element that someone is taking care of it.
Mhm.
well, no,
Yeah.
they germinated it. The green that you see on top of it, I think that they fertilized it with airplanes, and it
Mm.
grew like that. But yeah, they probably are. But as you can see at the very top part,
Mhm.
is
That's a
where
mound
they.
pyramid, man.
Oh yeah, well that's more. I mean, that's a step mound pyramid at
Mhm.
that.
Yeah, you see
You
the
know,
layers
and
on it.
yeah, you can
Yeah.
see the layers, like the one that I sent in the group chat. And man, when you riding through Ohio and West Virginia, man, and there's so many step pyramids that I'm trying to figure out how can people ride past these things and look at the
Every
steps
day in
every day. But
Baltimore, Mondawmin Mall, and lady said it on this show.
yeah,
We've been
yeah,
going to Mondawmin all our lives, man. It's the mall up at the top of the hill, and it's
yeah,
on a hill,
yeah.
and you
But
like,
see,
and we love to go there, and it's more than just the fact that it stores there's an energy, and you feel it.
yeah,
Right.
but see, that's the purpose of the trees that surrounding it, because they can't grow the trees tall enough for you not to be able to see it from a distance.
Yeah, they
But when
trying to
you
block you. We get it.
yeah, see, and when you get up on it, you can't see it all at all. And
Mhm.
see, that's intentional, because when we see it, not nobody else, when we see it, it becomes alive more than what it is. And then the ancestors whose energies and spirits still dwell there, they get resuscitated as well. So it's a strategic move on why they got the trees blocking you from being able to see them. But yeah, man, that thing is at least a half a mile long, man. So when I roll past it, what I do is the ones that I can't get an actual picture of, because like I say, when I get up on them, they got the trees blocking them. Where I just mark off the location of where I am, and then I'll go back and find it, and then present it to the world. So I don't know if they ever thought that a dude from the south side of Chicago would bring this to the forefront, but it's too late now, baby. So the
Absolutely.
people see it, and now the people can find it for themselves.
Let me shift gears a bit. This comment up here, they all came off of illegal actions too. I believe Tahong was talking about the mafiosos, the Italian mobs. Of course, nowadays you
Absolutely.
got the Russian mobs, the Ukrainians, the Albanians. But be that as it may, America, and we've talked about this on many shows prior to this Indigenous series, America is only 5% of the world's population.
Mhm.
Yet, 1 in 4 of the incarcerated persons on planet Earth are locked up in America. In the federal prison, black men are 40%. In the state prisons, we are 30%. 30%
So
of
in
the world's inmates.
Privatized prisons suing the U.S. right now for prisons being empty.
So think about it. It's the seed that was sown in the beginning. So that when that 1740 Act was made, and when you talking about Georgia, Europe, England empty their jails. They empty all their debtors' prisons, they prisons to populate Georgia. So it don't
Probably ain't no
surprise.
food to feed them.
No, it don't
Probably some
surprise
dead
me that
rats.
it don't surprise me that it's the majority of criminals on the planet comes from on this side of the planet, because this what was festered here. You get what I mean? This is what was sitting here. You get what I
And
mean?
something else that came up too. We don't talk about it much. Black slave owners. It was more popular than we realized.
But a lot of those black slave owners were Europeans.
So they were black European slave owners.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then it was black, some that was owning their family too. So it's a diverse thing too. It ain't as simple as saying, oh, okay, you black. It was more diverse than just that, right? You know?
Correct.
But we talking about black as far as in skin color.
Yeah, I know. I'm just
so
saying.
they can identify with those black nobilities.
Well, two things in honor of our great brother out of St. Louis, Omali Yashatila. In his words, he said that there are more of us locked up in America than there are people in Equatorial Guinea.
We got a nation locked up.
Yeah. deliberately.
Yeah.
Deliberately, because they've been at war with us since they got here. And so now what they do now is like every time you turn on the television, they got one of us, you know what I'm saying, with our hair in the ponytail, with our edges under control. You know what I'm saying? Under the RuPaul Act.
No,
See
for
what I'm
real.
saying? So what they do is, you know what I'm saying, they say, hey, this is what we do to our Indian warriors, you know, the Comanches, you know, the Red Sticks.
What do you mean? What do you mean? Put them in dresses?
Yeah.
Yeah. And we fall for that foot, man. When I saw the young rapper in a dress, I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
They done took the whole Medea thing. And you know, that's why I can't watch dudes' shows. I want to watch it, but it's something in the back of my mind, like, because the default is always the dude in the dress. That's the
Right.
default. Even down to the sagging. I'm watching cats from other races in America sagging.
Because we
so dirty and dingy, and now they want to cut. I mean, one of y'all said it. If we put doo-doo on our foreheads, next thing you know, the whole world will be doing it.
that's what I'm saying. Because see, the objective is to have us looking out in the sky for God. Not realizing that reflection of a God was in the mirror. Or like how Planet Whale say, in that darkness that's encapsulated by these flesh bodies that we got. So they got us looking out there for something we can't see while they watching our every move, imitating everything that we do.
All right, going around the horn. What's your goal? Give me one goal you got for this week, Hannibal.
Get this declaration that me and my family trying to get together on. You know, we about to start working together and start eating together and educating together. So we're going to try to be the example to everybody else and put this formulation down for everybody within this week. You know what I mean? We've been talking about it for the last few years. So it's on deck right now.
Okay. Planet Wells, give me one goal for this week.
Assisting my family in the current crisis that family members are in.
Okay. Horace?
Hold on one second.
All right, Mafia.
Yeah, cash your check. You heard me?
Yeah.
Cash your check.
Cash a check.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna finish reading this book I'm reading. It's called Nudge. We got to read it for the business program. So I'm giving you some $50,000 advice. Get the book called Nudge.
Okay, Nudge. Who's the author?
Nudge.
Thaler and Sunstein.
Okay, Nudge. Okay. That's on my reading list now. Yes, sir. So how
Planet, come on with the prayer, man. I like where you were going with that. You said we got to go inside. We are the truth. And then we're gonna go to the hearts for the libations.
Well, I apologize. I got an important phone call, but I want to say that my goal for the week is that I'm working on, you know, the important video within the series that I got from Gangs to Gods. So I've been working on that, and that's coming along pretty good, man. Yeah. So I'm working on that, brothers, and then I really want, you know, my people all across America, but especially Chicago, Memphis, Arkansas, Alabama. You know, they got Chicago gangs, even in New York and places like Rhode Island. They got Chicago gangs to see these sciences that I'm bringing forward to the table to see how that we really that they fighting each other, but they all one and the same. You know, just you know the same story with just a different cover of the book. You know what I mean?
Good deal.
Yeah, infiltration is powerful, and what you're doing with the Gangs to Gods is definitely heavily needed.
Appreciate that, brother. Appreciate it.
Well, one of the things is in terms of the common denominator, right? So what you see here is you see different areas of the country, different families, all coming together right now because there is an innate love for our people and our people's situation, right? So we come together to basically share the love of this journey, And love is an incredible healer. We must have blessed thoughts for our people. We must have that because that had been taken away. That had been stripped away. Right? So one of the things when I commune in silence and stillness is to generate a prayer for our people, because our people are extremely significant on this planet, because we're a conduit for that love. And it is actually our responsibility to share that love with ourselves, and as a result, share that love for the planet and all the people on it. So let's commune one more time with a meditation, but don't get caught up in the word meditation. It's more of a situation of you're always running around, you're always doing something busy, all the time, 24/7. So take a moment right now to commune with that silence of being, because there's magic in it. So we'll just do it for a minute or two, okay? Okay. Blessings to you all.
Gratitude.
Got a little something I want to share with you from Khalil Gibran, the prophet, on children. And a woman who held a babe against her bosom said, "Speak to us of children." And he said, "Your children are not your children. They are the sons and daughters of life's longing for itself. They come through you, but not from you. And though they are with you, yet they belong not to you. You may give them your love, but not your thoughts, for they have their own thoughts. You may house their bodies, but not their souls, for their souls dwell in the house of tomorrow, which you cannot visit, not even in your dreams. You may strive to be like them, but seek not to make them like you. For life goes not backward, nor tarries with yesterday. You are the bows from which your children, as living arrows, are sent forth. The archer sees the mark upon the mark of the infinite, and he bends you with his might, that his arrows might go swift and far. Let your bending in the archer's hand be for the gladness. For even as he loves the arrow that flies, so he loves also the bow that is stable." Also want to bring attention to my man, Mafia Shit.
Doni Glover, here it go. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Welcome to the show. Peace, family. The shadow illuminates from the soul. Knowledge itself. You probably sitting on a pot of gold. Tell me in the chat, you think we from Africa? Really though? The wrong perspective will cloud your judgment. I mean, somebody could tell you somebody you wasn't. Pay more homage and less worship. You tired of being a pushover than be assertive. Politics is just an old ancient secret circus. It get deeper the more you go in below the surface. You gotta learn to heal the trauma, be your own savior. My old earth gave me birth to God, one with nature. I'm an American Indian, fight for the rights of my native land. I'm an American Indian, fight for your rights, fight for your life. Eastern Shore, Mississippian, down by the river. Black man, red skin, bunch of Indian givers. Real side of Shakur, prisoners of the war. Return of the matriarch, the return of the God. East side, muddy water, we indigenous tribes. Black Wall Street, I run a family business of mine. Straight out the gutter, word the mother, high chief on the rise. They read the Bible translation, but ain't reading the scribe. Keep it G, Cherokee, Gullah Geechee the gang. You know how it is, everybody got beef with the king. Turtle Island, we steppin', can't let them kill our connection. You know the mind and the tongue be the deadliest weapons. I'm an American Indian, fight for the rights of my native land. I'm an American Indian, fight for your rights, fight for your life. I am a real American, fight for the rights of my native land. I am a real American, fight for your rights, fight for your life. Doni Glover, here it go, like said comments.
That's called peace there, blood.
Man, much gratitude, much gratitude.
And that's
Wow. All right, so you got the floor, boss.
okay. I'm gonna pour the libations, but I wanted to pull something up. That one picture that I got right there. Is it on there? Can you got time for that?
Mm.
And sorry about the white part. I just didn't erase that. But so this is a picture I put together. So now what we have here is the tree of life, and I'm pretty sure everybody's familiar with that. So for the most part, we always concerned with the tree at the top, but never the tree at the bottom. So in regards to what we were speaking of earlier about hip hop, when it came on the scene, what it was, it always had two sides to it. And so when the original artists came out, they were at the top part of the tree. But you had others that knew that there was another side of the tree that existed. And so they started to pour their money and investments in the bottom side of the tree. And that has, been a portion of our demise, for the most part. But yeah, man, that's something that's dealing with the tree of life, the ancient Kabbalah, for all those who are familiar.
Mm.
Yeah, that's
Sure.
yeah. So let me come on with the libations, right quick. Here we go.
And it's American Indian month every month here, right?
Yes,
Sure.
Every day.
Every day is Mother's Day. Every day is Father's Day.
Right.
Sure, indeed.
Yes, it
Twice
is.
on Sunday.
Okay, so I'm gonna start out by giving honors to the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, to the great Queen Neitha of Chicago, Illinois, who defeated 5 armies of invading Europeans / pharaohs, the most honorable Empress Vidayasi, the most honorable Empress Chief Redbird, Chief Warhorse Dr. Francis C. Welsing, Dr. Ari Khanna, Sister Shahrazad Ali, Sister Ashada Shakur, Angela Davis, Mama T, Sister Vicky Dillard, Sister Myra, Dr. Joy DeGrue, sister on YouTube by the name of LaChris, the beloved Sister Secrete Balance and Brenda Davis, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Malcolm Malik El Shabazz, Dr. Khaled Abdul Muhammad, Dr. Delbert Blair, the Honorable Taj Tariq Bey, and Dr. G, the Honorable Dr. Claude Anderson, Patrice Lumumba, Professor P.L.O. Lumumba, the late great C. Freeman Ill, the Honorable Dr. Martin Luther King, the Honorable Che Guevara, the most honorable Dr. Malachi Z. York, the great Omali Yeshatila, my brother in South Africa, Julius Malema, my great brother in Burkina Faso, President Ibrahim Traore, my great and beloved brother, General Barbecue of Haiti, the beloved brother Bobby Hemmett, the Honorable Reverend Dr. Phil Valentine, Nellie Fuller, Fred Hampton, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, Anthony T. Browder, Professor James Small, Steve Coakley, Billy Carson, 19 Keys, Dan Calloway, Karimo Ahua, Rizza Islam, the great legendary Top Cats, the great brother Rod Hayes, as well as Young Elder, the late great Dr. Sebi, the late great Dr. Leila Howell Africa, the most honorable Yaki Awakening, the honorable King Randall, the most honorable Doni Glover for providing us with this platform for us to reach our people, the most honorable Planet Wells, the most honorable beloved brother Hannibal James, the most honorable young, wise, and intelligent brother Mafia Shakur, and all of our viewers who are 100% on our team in this monumental indigenous movement here on Turtle Island without any questions asked.
Horus the fourth.
Thank you,
Hey,
my brother.
Mafia, can you handle that comment? They want the link to the show.
Okay.
Any final thoughts before we get out of here, gentlemen? We'll be back Tuesday at 9:10 p.m. I got this class is over at 9, and that lady, man, they just be stretching. I'm like, I gotta go. So 9:10, that way I had to rush about them people's class.
One last thing I wanted to say is I had a situation where I was in the California Malibu fires, and a lot of my memorabilia had burnt up. And one of the things my father had given me was a photograph of my great grandmother. And Hannibal James, I don't know how, that's a magic man there. He researched and researched and researched and researched and came up with the exact same photograph that I had lost in the fire that I didn't even think was on the earth.
Wow.
Yeah.
But you see how Mother Nature works, though.
Where you find it at? Come on, give us the scoop. Where you find it at?
So we was doing his searching his genealogy, doing his family history, and I was stumbled upon his great grandfather's photograph of him that he had.
No. See, you said you stumbled upon it. This show has supernatural God power.
Go ahead. Tell him, Donnie. Tell him, Donnie. Get him straight, Donnie. Get him straight.
You wasn't digging into the energy, and it just like,
oh, here it is. That's what it is. Oh. That's what happened too.
All praises.
Yes, it is. And that's why that's why I'm trying to profess to everybody that's listening and our viewers, just start and things will come together for your family. Just do the start.
Just like this show.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
Somebody said they was looking for the song. You can find the song on Donnie's channel and on my channel.
Put it in the link, bro.
Oh, put the link in the chat?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Why don't y'all tell them what y'all be talking about in the private chat? Because they don't know. Y'all go for hours.
Oh, man.
Well, I mean,
suppose they want to get in touch with you for some private convo that we talk offline. I will put your contact. How can they find you, Mafia?
You can find me at 410mshakur@gmail.com.
Hannibal?
Yes, you can contact me on the website at ourheritagehub.com. You know, it's a part right there on the homepage where you can leave me a message, and I'll get back with everybody. And then I read the comments here too, and I'll be answering questions on the videos too.
Can you put the website in the chat?
Yes, I can.
All right. Horace?
You can reach me at adldavis19@gmail.com. And you also can go to Dog Stop Network on YouTube and leave a comment there. And you know, because I communicate with people from off the show there as well.
Planet.
And you can connect with me through Mafia Shakur.
And we see you, DJ Sweetness. We see you mixing them photos up.
Right.
Y'all get quiet. People, let me tell you something. These cats go on for hours. This silence thing, I don't get it. But, okay.
We talk about a bunch of stuff that we got a bunch of stuff in the fire, you know.
Yeah.
All types of things.
It'll all come out in due time.
No, I was putting the link in the chat though, man. But I was talking to Hannibal about with that. Remember, we was looking for Sweetwater Miles, Captain Chief Sweetwater Miles. That was like a title as far as, and they were saying Sweetwater Miles was from that North Carolina trade area up into Maryland and Virginia. So they was calling that Sweetwater as that route from North Carolina up into Virginia.
I just want to put this out there. I told you last night I was talking to my brother about this show, and this is what I told him. I said, how do you know you are from Africa? All we really know, unless we've done the research, all we really know is what somebody told us. We ignore what grandma said. You know how many people I done asked that question? Did your grandmother ever tell you in? And first is no, because that's just how America has us. But then invariably somebody will say, Planet, yeah, well, there was this one story. That's how it always goes. There was this one story. And I found this. If it's like 5 siblings, one of the siblings, at least one of the siblings went looking. Mm-hmm. Just like what we be doing.
Well,
go looking and you be surprised with you. And maybe like Horace has been saying, it's the ancestors. And I told you about the book I want you to go get called Nudge. I really want you to get my book, but it's a good book. A good book is a good book. Mm-hmm. The ancestors be nudging us. Like, go ahead, boy. Horace, go look at that. And he don't know why. And if he told the police why he on that land, they probably lock him up and try to put him in one of the straitjackets. But he'd have said, y'all holding our ancestors hostage.
Well, one of the things is this. On the straight, because I'm just like the audience. You know, I'm new, I'm the whole thing, okay? This is the straight logic, right? If one went through all of the stuff for 300 years, right? The imprint of that would be so traumatic on your system, okay? That if your lineage was in Africa, somebody in your family would tell you that.
That's right.
No African stories. Mike Lane said it to me.
Somebody would tell you that. Right?
We don't have one damn African story.
Now in Brazil, right? There's a town called a city called Bahia. They practice many African rituals and dress and the whole thing.
Well, damn, they got half of Africa in Brazil.
But we don't. Mm-hmm. All right. So you got to look at it. You got to look at that. Mm-hmm. And you got to look at the education system that taught you about this particular story and omitted your family and your story here. You got to look at that.
Yeah, they was the exact words that got me to be here, you know, to search the information to be able to communicate with you guys. As my grandmother said that her grandmother was African. This is my great grandmother. So
Mm-hmm.
that took me back into the
And
early.
Big Mama didn't lie.
Right.
Not at all.
But see, I would have a question, like I posed to, somebody, if we are from Africa, what happened to all the black people that were here when they got here from Europe?
Because
What
the
what
black
did they
man was
go
the
to?
first on every continent.
That's what they failed to realize for some strange
We were the
reason.
first everywhere.
First everywhere.
Long before the Bering Strait, long before Chinese food, long before shrimp fried rice.
And you know what I thought about too? If y'all have y'all ever noticed how Mexicans love Chinese food? They always in the Chinese buffet spot. And I'm like, damn, they seem like they eat shrimp fried rice more than tacos. But now I understand it's because they had that Siberian blood in them, which is part Chinese or Asian.
Well, I like Chipotle, so don't crack too slick on the Mexican food.
Well, no,
You know, in
I
Baltimore,
love,
they got nothing but Chipotles. They tell me out west, they laugh at Baltimore because that's the only damn Mexican food. But in other places, like they don't even like Chipotle. Am I right, Mafia?
That's a fact.
And,
yeah,
and don't
I
bring
don't
me no
do
damn
yeah.
Chipotle without the vinaigrette. If you make some Chipotle, you don't bring me the vinaigrette, we gonna be guffing up in there. I'm gonna leave it right at the counter. I'm telling you. You ain't got no vinaigrette.
That's right.
America. Big Mama is the emblem of America. Mexicans are mixed Asians.
That's right.
I know one
Asians and
thing.
Spaniards.
When I put up them Olmec heads a decade ago, Mexicans were saying, look at the nose, S.A., look at the lips. That is a Mexican. No, shawty. Look at the braids. Look at the braids in the
Never
back.
show the braids, though. You never see the braids.
They got braids on the back of them Olmec heads, and everybody know who do the plaiting on planet Earth.
Cornrows.
Right.
Well, when you go to resources, you'll find, and you can go to AI or whatever, you'll find that there's more gold in the Americas than there is anywhere. And you will find that there is a tremendous amount of oil in America still.
Hey, well, like I say,
you also the relationship to food. America feeds a large portion of the world. So America is extreme. America
benefits planet. People getting
America is extremely abundant.
Yeah, well,
so why these people got such a scarcity mentality? Where does that come from? Because they say the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof. Why do they have this scarcity mentality, even to the point that they know they have polluted the earth? So now they're going to take their stinking ass to another planet and corrupt it. That's real niggardly. Big ups Elon Musk for digging up the moon. That's the most niggardly thing I've ever heard of. Digging up the moon. You digging up the moon?
It's an element of mental illness.
What's wrong with you, son?
We gotta think just like how Horus was showing that tree of life. We coming from the ascended aspect of that tree. So when we get to this lower aspect of where we ascend from, those who come from that inner earth, from that root of that tree that come to this is a different, it's equal opposites of that attraction. So that scarcity is what they need to feed off of this environment.
Donald Trump should have had my daddy, because he'd have whipped his ass and he wouldn't be the asshole that he is. And we don't normally cuss on this show, but that Donald Trump is a sick character. And I wanted to share that. I'm glad. That's where me and Mike Lane went south. Dude did a poll on this show about Trump. Now, I don't care what tribe you from. You with that moron, you probably ain't gonna have, we probably don't want to talk to me. And not long after that show, 5 black congressional districts in Texas were removed. Trump. So yeah, not a fan. Today, yesterday, last week, last year, 10 years ago, 10 years from now, he's a horrible human being, planet.
But see, I want to say that, like always, speak on the Whigamores, who are currently masquerading as Democrats and Republicans. Until we have our own, you either vote for Lucifer or Beelzebub. Because remember, the other administration were trying to allow little 5-year-old boys to classify as a 6-year-old little girls. So, they say flies love shit and bees love honey. So either way, until we have our own, this other element is going to always be a problem on either side.
And I agree with that, because I feel the same way about Trump I did about Obama, and everybody before them. So, in my opinion,
well, I'll tell you this: I was able to go to the Obama White House, the Biden White House, about 70 times. This Trump White House, have not been once, and don't want to go. Some bad energy with old boy. So
I think that
is the government reopened, or they're working on it? Senators reached tentative deal to end the government shutdown. So we might be looking at some progress and people will be getting some checks. And on that note, thank you for supporting this show. Please like and subscribe. And do check out bemorenews.com. Gentlemen, we got to get up out of here.
Yes, sir. I got to run. Yeah.
All right, peace.
Good evening, world.
Peace.
Appreciate the love, family.
Peace, family.
All right, peace, God.
Obama killed Gaddafi. I'm saying I got access though. I did get access. No access with old boy. And yeah, they did kill Gaddafi. No, I don't like that. All right, don't get that twisted. All right. Good evening.